Mike,
I'm sorry, I'm probably going to venture a little bit for a friendly neighborhood question.
you get 30 seconds to
All right. I think what goes to the head of my questions is the $200 million organization, the 800 plus employees, the numerous complex departments, that this position is going to go in there and try to get their hands on while trying to address the issues that are apparent to everybody. The economy, the environment, the city moving forward, opening itself up and attracting businesses. So I would ask each of them to describe their leadership style and how they're going to get those leaders around them to help get this through and work with the staff to get it done. Because it is very different from running a small business.
Okay, good. Let's start backwards with Charles. Work this way this time.
Okay, a lot of my leadership style was developed in college and military. I was raised in a military family, so honesty, integrity are the core of my beliefs when it comes to leadership, and being transparent, obviously, as a leader, so people know where you're coming from. The hardest thing for me is when I work for a leader who does not have integrity, and they tell you something, and then something changes after they've told you that. And I think you need to stay true to what you have promised to people. For me, the process has already begun as far as who's going to be leading different departments. I've been interviewing individual department heads just to see where they stand, to see if their vision for what the city of Pensacola is aligns with mine. And I can't tell you right now whether Chief Simmons will be the chief after I get elected, but he will be one of the candidates I will consider. For me, the vision is that we're able to streamline the government to the point that we maintain our critical services. And I believe in empowering people that are under me. I can't delegate my responsibility because I've learned that in the military. You cannot delegate your responsibility. The buck stops with me. There'll be some candidates who might think that their chief administrative officer can run things day to day. That's not so. I will be doing it, and I will hold my leaders accountable, but I will also give them the ability, delegate the authority they need to get the jobs done. So they don't have to come to me or to Mr. Barker to get everything approved, but they will be held accountable if they make changes within their budget. I believe I have to have a strong core of people that work for me. I think there are some there right now. I think there may need to be some changes, but I am in that process right now.
Thank you, Charles. Diane?
All right, thank you. First of all, let me explain that the $200 million plus budget that you're talking about is really parceled between two areas. There is the core city services, which is about $48 million. That is what is supported by your taxes. The rest of it are enterprise funds, the port, the airport, the gas company, and some of the enterprise funds. So please understand that the city is core municipal services as well as some pretty big businesses that we have seen run well. The port needs some help, but the others not only operate within their revenue, but the ESP, the gas utility, even keeps your taxes down because it contributes $8 million a year toward that $48 million to support municipal services. So I just kind of want you to get a feel for that. But in terms of leadership and what I would do day one, let me cite a little history. Back in 1988, the city of Pensacola hired a consulting firm to do a study. Essentially, it was an operational audit combined with a cost-benefit analysis in preparation for the annexation of Sacred Heart Hospital, Cordova Mall, Washington High School. It was, I recently reread parts of that study, and it was enlightening because it went down to the nitty-gritty of how the city was operating and how much more efficiently departments could operate if they did something like, for instance, they got down into the weeds. Oh, I'm sorry.
30 seconds.
Okay, 30 seconds. I would start with a study like that to determine just how efficient or inefficient we are, and then reorganize the city, the departmental structure, based on what we learned from that consultant.
Thank you. Ashton?
I'll make it real easy. We're one of the poorest counties in the state and one of the poorest municipalities in the state. You got $200 million, correct? There has not been any leadership. We've had a management form of government. In saying that, even though you're an elected official as a city councilman, you owe it to the taxpayers to do whatever you can to do to get business to the city of Pensacola and retain business and grow business. We've got 80 acres on the waterfront. We haven't done that. In all my corporate training and leadership training classes, what you do is You give that person the tools to be successful. You qualify them to make sure they can do the job. Give them the tools and give them the objective and let them go out and get it. And if they need help from the CEO, then come get it. However, that's my leadership style. There's many of great employees down in the city of Pensacola. And as we all know, there's dead wood in any organization, whether it's at your home, whether it's in your business, no matter what it is. We need to figure out what that is, and I've been doing that the last 2 months after I've qualified to see what areas can we be more efficient. The reality is we can be more efficient. We're 50-something thousand people, folks. Come on. We should be one of the greatest cities in the state of Florida, if not one of the best in the United States. These are all just excuses. Leadership is when you find out that the charter didn't work for 80 years and you step up and you get behind it and you get your family on the corner and you put your money where your mouth is. When one of my candidates showed up late to the party, my other candidate decided they wanted to be the mayor. This is what we're talking about when it comes to leadership, period. Thank you.
Okay, Ashton.
Leadership in this new form of government is going to be very interesting because you're going to have the mayor who now, for the first time in history, is going to be in charge of this huge budget and all of these employees. That new mayor is going to have multi-talents. He's going to have the big picture. There's no question. How to move the city forward, how to have a vision. But if you read about leadership, you're also going to see that the new mayor in a government needs to be a detail person also. We have a general fund, and then we have all our enterprises. We are very successful in our airport. Our ESP, gas company, is very, very successful. Our parks and recreation, I think, is one of the best in the Southeast. We're not a city of a bunch of failed enterprises. There's no question about it. We have a great city. But this new mayor is going to have to move in, develop his team who share his vision, and then move ahead like that. There's one thing I won't do. I'll tell you, I'm not ready to do any studies. I really think the city, in many cases, have done too many studies. We've got too many on the shelf gathering dust. We have talent in Pensacola among the citizens. Let's take pensions, for example. We can do an ad hoc committee to study pensions. We have enough bankers, we have enough HR people, we have enough people in the public sector and the private sector that can sit down and work on this problem. And there are many other situations just like that. But the new mayor had better understand all the issues to be able to put those teams together. He better understand who he's got on his team and be ready day one to be able to step forward and take over this job and move this city forward. It's going to take experience, and it's going to take some energy. It's going to take some just get up and go. And I think that's what you're going to have to do from day one.
Okay, thank you.